How's everyone doing? We got some early arrivers, Bunzo, Steve, Amos, BJ. Can you guys hear me okay? Good deal. I got a new mic, and so it's plugged directly in my phone, so hopefully the audio is coming through pretty clear for you guys. Jesse, what's up, man? JR, Birdman. Yeah, right. Live from Dallas Fort Worth, it's Saturday Knife. You got that right, buddy. My fellow Texan brewhound. So, we'll give it a few minutes, see who else wants to jump on here. I have no idea what I'm doing, so I'll make that perfectly clear. Um, JR, it's probably about 45 minutes from here to Italy, which is how we pronounce that here in Texas. But yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've got my laptop to the right of the screen, if you can see where I'm pointing. I don't even know that I'm fully caught up on the live stream on my laptop. Oh, your parents just moved there? Nice. Stuart, what's up, man? Christine, hello. Peter, what's going on, buddy? It's like the whole gang's here. That's awesome. And just so you guys are aware, there will be a giveaway, as there always is, and the answer to that giveaway has already been written down on that piece of paper right there. So that is definitely going to happen. Jersey Knife Guy, what's up, buddy? Yes, BJ, we can talk about how awesome Ryan does on the leather slips, absolutely. And that may be some foreshadowing to the giveaway. Yeah, so let me ask you guys this, because when I so I'm filming with my phone, right? So when I put my hand into the screen here, I don't see it on my laptop. It's like I have a delay between what I see on my phone and what comes up on the laptop. So I'm just now seeing my hand on the laptop. So are you guys seeing things kind of in real time? Like, can you see my hands right now doing the the jazz hands? Is that in real time for you guys? Okay, good. Very good. Yeah, that is weird. Especially the fact that I just did jazz hands. That's especially weird. Jade, how you doing? Good to see you. Menace. Yeah, the whole gang is here, it looks like. JD, what's up, buddy? Eugene. Good deal. So I tried my best to present to you a somewhat Saturday Knife Live looking set here. Got a little bit of swag back in the back, showing off some of our friends here, and just a random kind of massive assortment of stuff on the table that we can look at, talk about. I frankly don't really have any agenda. This was kind of a last minute change, as you guys know. Zach was going to host, but something came up. And of course, JB is in Minnesota doing a little family reunion. So don't really have any talking points necessarily, but I do want to mention a couple things. There's been a lot of, and I think a lot of these people are already in the live stream here. There's been a lot of giveaways and kind of milestones recently. A Therapeutic Edge did his 100 sub giveaway. Women Carry Knives, Christine, yours is still going on. Your 100 sub giveaway, right? Which you're at like 200 plus at this point. Brewhound, I'm reading your comment. What's up, Dave? All right, Brewhound, I'm gonna use your test. All right, so I'm gonna say the word snap and snap my finger at the same time. Is that what I need to do, Brewhound? Hey, Dusty. That might look familiar to you, Dusty. UK legal carry, what's going on? It's so funny how delayed the video is on my laptop. I'm just not going to pay attention to that. I'm just going to watch the comments. All right, ready? Here we go. Snap. 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 Hopefully that worked for you, Brewhound. Very nice. Chad, what is going on, my friend? So, Christine, you said, I know the comment, it's a little further up, but your giveaways through tomorrow. Is that right? Yeah, Jay, jazz hands and snaps. This is getting off to a really good start. JB, what is going on, buddy? How's Minnesota? Got Zeb here as well. Well, the good news, JB, is there's nothing happening on the video other than just staring at what you're looking at. So nothing's actually happening. It's just me talking. So yeah, Women Carry Knives 100 sub giveaway through tomorrow. So definitely check that out. Woodling Tactical, Zeb, of course, has his benefit giveaway going on. Bunzo just hit 100 subs and did his giveaway. So congrats to Bunzo. I don't know if he's in here yet. Are you here, Bunzo? All right, and then Amos, OC Omega Shadow, just hit 400 subs. I know that was a big deal for him, so congrats to Amos if he's here. Zach's stuff. Zach's obviously not here. He had a work conflict, which is why I'm hosting tonight. But he just did his 2,500 sub giveaway, which is crazy. So congrats to Zach. Neves Knives just did their 100 sub giveaway. Airbound Outdoors just did a 400 sub giveaway, which is still going, by the way. So a lot of giveaways, a lot of milestones, a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, you do spy a coin, JR. And I actually got a new case for it. Not the one that you sent there was anything wrong with it, but I got one kind of with this little foam ring around it. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, Dusty, you're right. Everybody is doing awesome. Uh, JB can't hear a word I'm saying, but he knows. Yeah, you're right, JB. You can't hear me, but I am totally killing it right now. You just can't hear it. But yeah, Dusty, you're right. Ton of great channels doing some great things. A lot of newer channels that are growing, which is just fantastic. It's always good to see that. BJ, I think I already said hi to you. So yeah, it looks like the standard gang's all here. So thanks for jumping over to my channel for the last minute change here. So what do you guys want to look at? I just threw a bunch of random stuff on the table. All right, so Stuart, you mentioned the K-bar. Talking about this guy right here. Is this one you're talking about? Yeah, so this is a pretty cool knife. I got this probably, and you guys know I'm a huge fan of the Dozier, and I actually brought one out just because I'm obsessed with these knives, the K-bar Dozier. But this one is special in that it's the K-bar Dozier Large. And these have been discontinued for a long time, and this was sent to me as a gift by a subscriber named Gary. He's actually the same guy who happened to win. He was one of the winners in my recent giveaway, and he sent this to me about a month ago, and it was brand new in the box, like new old stock of the large K-bar Dozier. So this definitely means a lot to me. It's a big, beefy son of a gun. I'm going to try to keep the language, this being a live thing, I got to keep the language in check because in real life I tend to say things I shouldn't. But yeah, Stuart, that's the K-Bar Dozier Large that unfortunately no longer exists. But I think they should bring it back. Maybe I'll send them a strongly worded email. Who knows? Yeah, it is pretty cool. Yeah, Bruhan, gotta have a Dozier for sure. And if you haven't seen the video of Zeb beating the crap out of the one that I sent him, you should check that out. And speaking of Stuart, I brought this out for you, buddy. This is the Bird Caracara 2. Stuart, I know you just recently got the rescue version of this with the fully serrated kind of safety blade, but this is my Bird Caracara 2. And this is also kind of an homage to JB since he just got some bird knives and he showed, if you saw his little short video earlier, he showed the Raven 2, I believe that he's carrying today in Minnesota. And so I brought out my Caracara 2. I took the pocket clip off. This one lives in a dedicated pouch in a chest rig that I have. And I bought this probably 7 or 8 years ago. And back then these things were like 22 bucks. I have no idea what they go for now. Probably quite a bit more, I would guess. So who have I missed coming in? Amos, what's going on, buddy? JB's got video, very good. Louie, what's going on, buddy? JB, I can picture you walking around the farm with your phone up in the air looking for some more bars. That's a good question, Brewhound. Serrations are great, man. It's something that I think is a little underrated. When it comes to like a rescue tool, cutting through nylon specifically, serrations are fantastic. So a fully serrated rescue knife is where it's at, for sure. Not that you can't accomplish that with a plain edge, but serrations, they definitely do the job. As a matter of fact, Zach, who's unfortunately not here, made a comment earlier today on Slicey Dicey's video about how he's kind of a serrations guy. That's one of the things that he's really into that not a lot of people are, but they definitely work good. I have EDC the Little John. Yeah, I'm not huge on serrations either, Peter. In certain, I think, kind of niche areas, like a rescue tool, a dedicated kind of blunt-tipped rescue tool, I think they work fantastic. But as far as EDC, it's really not my jam, but, you know, I can get it. Amos, that is a Sharp Spot coin from the Sharp Spot group that Dusty and JR run. So yeah, I have EDC this, and we'll talk about this real quick. This was sent to me by, I guess, Dusty. This is your knife. Dusty from the Sharp Spot Hanks. She owns this knife. It is a custom EDC fixed blade from a company called PHL Knives out of Philadelphia. And I had just kind of been in the market for an EDC fixed blade, something really small, and they offered generously to send me one to take a look at and review. And I've been rocking the hell out of this. I almost said a different word, but yeah, I'm digging it. I like the horizontal carry, you know, so it kind of sits like that on my belt. Although where I carry my firearm, I'm having to carry this a little off to the side, but I am liking it. It cuts really nicely. I don't know if you put an edge on it recently, but I am digging that. And the file work and kind of the resin pour on the back looks fantastic. So yeah, I'm digging it. Definitely digging it. Thank you again for sending that. Yeah, it's a sweet little bit. It's a sweet little blade, definitely for kind of a discreet EDC knife that could also kind of as a last ditch self-defense tool And I'm not gonna lie, the Tiffany blue, come on now, don't act like you don't think that's beautiful, all you guys out there. It kind of matches my Dragonfly too. Knives, knives, bam, or bang. Sorry, I said bam like I'm Emerald Lagasse over here. Knives, knives, bang. Welcome to Saturday Night Live. That's a good question, Peter. Beg Steelcraft, Bodega, or Field Marshal? I actually almost bought a Steelcraft recently from Dylan Mallory. He was selling one. I still might buy it. So somebody throw something out there. What do you want to look at? Something on the table. We'll pick something up and talk about it. The Keen says JR. Yeah, so the Mass Drop by Laconico Keen. This is one that I got pretty recently. I purchased this from Drop, and I think they were going for about 160. And you can still get these. These are not gone. And it's a fantastic knife. It's probably one of my favorite knives of the year that I've purchased. This one's got the groove in it, as you can see, and kind of that stonewashed bronze look. It's unbelievable. I mean, frankly, just an unbelievable knife in pretty much every way. Very clean design. So I bought this one, and then I happened to see one for sale used on a knife group on Facebook that I'm pretty certain was never carried, and the dude wanted $100 for it. So I couldn't resist that price. So I got a second one, and I'll do a full review on this knife very soon. But I can tell you it's fantastic for like $160. Titanium frame lock, S35 VN. You know, if you don't want to spend $450 on a large Sebenza, buy a Keen, because it's the bee's knees. I love it. Yeah, the small Archeo is a good knife. And I actually don't have one on the table, but I did put a large one on the table. Actually, these two knives here in the corner I put here intentionally to torture Woodland Tactical. He had been talking about the large Archeo, which I recently got this from my dad in a trade. We traded a bunch of knives, and I got a large Archeo from him. This is the budget version. It's like $60 maybe. It's the liner lock in D2. So Woodland said that he may have to get one if I showed it off. So there you go, buddy. Or maybe I'll just buy one for you. And then this one, Zeb. Apparently Zeb had a conversation with Zach. And Zach's really good about turning people on to Benchmade knives. He's really good at that. It's like his favorite. And I love it when he does that. And this is just the blackout bug out. It's just a bug out that's black. I think they made a ton of these, like a lot of these. So it's not like super exclusive. It is exclusive to Blade HQ, but I think they have a ton of them, so they're not hard to get. And I don't know if I'm going to do anything with it as far as mods or anything, but that's the murdered out, as they say, bug out. So there you go, Zeb. Drool on that, buddy. Yeah, sorry, buddy. You can slap me and Zach. I'm totally okay with that. So I'm trying to keep up with the comments and kind of also be looking here at the same time, which is harder than it looks. So JB, props to you, man, for doing this every week, because it's definitely more challenging than it appears. So thanks for what you do. Blue hardware and thumb studs, that would look legit. Yeah, so the carbon fiber 940, so this is something I wanted to actually ask people, because up until recently, I never once in my life purchased a used knife, a knife that was pre-owned, no matter how good of the condition, it was in. I just bought everything new. I don't know why, it was just my thing. So I never bought a used knife ever until like 4 weeks ago, and since then I've bought like probably 10 knives secondhand, and this was one of them. The Benchmade 940-1, which is carbon fiber and S90V, these things retail for like $270, which is a lot of money to pay for a knife. And this, again, was on a Facebook group for $150. And I don't know that this dude ever carried it. Like, it's in basically factory condition. So I'm definitely more into buying used knives now, especially knowing that oftentimes, at least in my brief experience, like the quality is really good. Obviously, you have to kind of know what you're buying and ask for a lot of pictures and videos. But like to get the Keen for $100 or the 940 for $150, I probably would never pay full price for a 940-1. But you can get some amazing deals on used knives. This Hogue I bought used from Slicey Dicey. So yeah, I've been buying a lot of used knives lately. Yeah, Patty is good at keeping up with comments. I'm probably doing a terrible job of it, so I apologize. I'm going to scroll up a little bit, actually. Yeah, Patty is good at keeping up with comments, that's for sure. Speaking of Patty, there he is. Good morning, my friend. Thank you for joining. We were just talking about how you're really good at keeping up with the comments when you do your live stream on Sunday mornings. And I think I'm doing a pretty poor job of it right now, but we're going to roll with it. Thank you, Louis. I appreciate that. So speaking of Patty, I got one knife on the table that was kind of inspired, at least my purchase was inspired by a video that I saw that Patty did, and that's the Civivi Elementum. I did an unboxing on this knife, not this exact one, it was the gray one. And I went a little crazy on the Elementums. I bought the black, the gray, and then the rosewood. And I watched a video that Patty did on the, damn it, what was that knife, Patty? The Drop, the Gent. Patty did an amazing video on the Gent from Drop. It's a ferrum forged design, and it's just a very clean design, kind of similar to this, in the same spirit as this. And just the cleanliness of this design from Civivi, I just can't get enough of it. And the G10 version is like $40, so the Elementum for a small EDC, I think, is just gorgeous. Just super clean and crisp. And it kind of reminded me of the Gent. And so when I saw that video that Patty did, it inspired me to go buy more more Civivis. Zach, what's up, buddy? You playing hooky already from work? Do they know you've left work and joined the Saturday Night Live? Yeah, the gray one, Lucum, is hello, by the way, Lucum. The gray one does look really nice. I like that gray G10. I don't have a lot of gray G10, and I don't see a ton of it, but it looks pretty pretty classy for sure. I like it a lot. And somebody pointed out to me today, I mentioned in the unboxing that it does not have any markings on the blade, but if you look really close, you may not even be able to see it because of the way the light's hitting it. It says D2. You can maybe barely see it in the shadow of the flipper tab, but just super tiny. It does say D2 on the blade, for what that's worth. That is a Ritter JR. This is a Hogue Ritter. Can't remember the model. RSK MK1G2. There's a lot of letters in it. This one I bought from Slicey Dicey when he was doing a sale. And then I bought another one because they came up in stock again on KnifeWorks. And here's something. Let me ask you guys a question. and your answers may determine what happens with this knife. So I don't know if Brian, if Slicey's made it to the to the show tonight, but he did a video probably a week ago, less than a week ago, just a few days ago, on the top 10 knives that he regrets selling. And one of the knives on his list of his most regretted sales was this knife. This exact knife that I bought from him. The centering was a little off, which he mentioned before I bought it, but I bought this from him, and now he says it's one of his most regretted sales. I have since bought another one, brand new, directly from KnifeWorks, so I have two of these. So what should I do with this one? Should I give Slicey a gift? Should I sell it to him for like half of what I paid for it? What should I do with it? I don't know. I don't need to necessarily, but it's like they come in stock infrequently on KnifeWorks, which is where you can get these. And so when I saw it in stock, I just grabbed another one. So now I have two. Okay, so Peter says, I'm never selling my Ritter Hogue. That's probably a good call, ever. And I won't. I mean, I have two, so the one that I just got, I'm definitely not going to sell. Charge him 2 times. There you go. I'll stick it to him. Sell it to him for double. Okay. So, Dusty, yeah, you're a pay it forward gal. Pay it forward. So half of the people say pay it forward and give him a gift. The other half say screw that, charge him double. I love it. And I will say I paid, at the time these were very hard to get, so I paid I think $160. The one that I just bought brand new from KnifeWorks, which is flawless, was $152. So it was actually cheaper for the new one. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, Zach, get back to work, buddy. So Zach, sounds like you're gonna have a live stream tomorrow, huh? Take care, Zach. I'm glad you were able to join. As I mentioned towards the beginning, for anyone that joined a little later on, there is going to be a giveaway, as there always is on Saturday Knife Live. And the giveaway is going to come directly from JB. He had already planned this, and he has a prize pack. I won't tell you exactly what it is yet, but the answer to the 2 letters has already been chosen, and it's on that piece of paper right there. So we'll get to that towards the end. And I'll probably try to keep this to right about 1 hour. I know for the East Coasters and even us here in the Central Time Zone, it can get a little late. So what's everybody? Does anybody have anything new coming? Anything en route in the mail that you're waiting for and excited about? Thanks, Peter. I appreciate that. As a matter of fact, I think you have a good voice, Peter. You have like a radio voice. Very soothing. Very soothing. I'm relaxed every time I watch a Therapeutic Edge video. It's like I don't have to do yoga. Just watch Peter's videos. Yeah, Amos, I saw your video that you got some new coins coming. That's very cool. Oh man, a lot of new stuff coming in. Some Ganzos, Kubi, Maximet Para 3, heck yeah. Brewhound, I can appreciate that, man. Sometimes I feel like I always have stuff on the way. Right now I have, I think, one thing. Nothing to feed the addiction. Yeah, I hear you, Jade. Yeah, so JD, I did pick up the, that's the one thing I have en route is the Clyde. The Ace Clyde from Giant Mouse Knives. I did buy that today. So that should get here hopefully pretty soon. But other than that, I have nothing en route. No pass-around knives, nothing else. Which is kind of refreshing, to be honest with you. Best Tech bow tie. I like it. Yeah, Neve's Knives. I'm just scrolling back a little bit. I did see that you got some pretty sweet stuff on loan from the Sharp Swap. That's awesome that you're checking out that Freeman. What a great knife. Yeah, that Chavez, man, I'm telling you, JR, it's giving me the itch, for sure. Oh, nice, Christine. Want a giveaway? That's always fun. Yeah, Big Red, you are going to Blade Show West. All right, so let's look at something else on the table. What do we got here? So this is something I just kind of want to ask you guys about. So I got this from my dad in a trade. It's just a standard mini grip in yellow. And I don't not like yellow, but I was just thinking maybe doing like a dye job or something like that, which I've never done. Obviously, if I did blue dye, it would probably turn it green, which I don't really want green. So I don't know what the heck to do with it. I kind of want to make it like purple, but I think purple dye would just make it like brown. So if you have any ideas for what to do with this yellow mini grip, let me know. Or maybe just leave it the way it is. That's fine too. Yeah, it is kind of bright, but it's not bad. I've got one of the Salt series from Spyderco in yellow, which isn't bad. Polka dots, I can dig it. Tiger stripes, that actually would look pretty sweet to do like some black stripes. Oh, Jay, do you have the sheep's foot? I really like the sheep's foot mini grip Chileans quite a lot. Aftermarket G10, that is an option for sure. So what else? What else do we have to look at? So I actually have a video coming out, and it's kind of a comedic video on this pen. If you're not familiar with this pen, I don't know that we can be friends. But it's the Zebra F701, the all stainless pen, best EDC pen in the world, in my opinion. In my opinion, means virtually nothing. But I have like literally a whole video on that pen. I love it. What's with the rising sun by the tourniquet? That's funny. It kind of looks like the flag of Japan, doesn't it? So I'm going to be doing a video here pretty soon on a pocket trauma kit. So not like a trauma bag like the one that I showed recently from MedTac, but one that I would actually carry in my pocket. And this is compressed gauze to be used for wound packing. And in its natural state, this is how it comes shipped from North American Rescue. But when you take it out of that package, this is what you have, much more compact to put in your pocket. And then I've got one of the new Generation 4 tourniquets from TacMed Solutions. So I'll be doing a video on the new Gen 4 soft T wide tourniquet, comparing it to the Gen 3, and talking about a new pocket trauma kit. So that'll be an upcoming video. Back to the comments. I don't know how you do this, JB. It's like table, comments, table, comments. I'll figure it out though. That's a good question, Amos. What kind of knife are you carrying? What's everybody carrying today? Or what did you carry today? Yeah, I can imagine it does take some getting used to. Carry the Chavez, nice. That Mini Loco, Zach, that you did the video on looks amazing. And your boss may not be happy with you because you're not working. But you know what? I'm glad. I'm just glad you're here. Sack Adventurer, nice. Benchmade Loco. Spider Monkey, nice, Jade. I can dig that. I carried my small Sebenza today because I was without it for quite a while. It paid a visit to some friends, including Zach and JB. And then JB went and bought one of his own that's even nicer than mine, which is a total JB move. No, I'm just kidding. The one he got's fantastic, but this one was gone for over a month, and so I carried that today out of nostalgia. Good question, Dave. Yeah, I've got a couple videos planned. I've got a bunch of chest seals and tourniquets and kind of excess trauma supplies. I'm going to do some practical videos actually pulling these things out, showing you how to use them. Things like wound packing, chest seal application, tourniquet application, things like that. So there's actually going to be a shift, not a huge shift, but there will be a shift towards more medical content than you've seen in the recent past. And with some of the recent events that we've seen, these unfortunate events we've seen in El Paso, I think the other one was Ohio, a couple in Canada even, I'm kind of upgrading my on-body medical gear, things like that. So definitely more medical stuff coming. You just won a Sabenza, Louis? And if it's Lewis and I'm calling you Louis, I apologize for that. I just realized it might be Lewis. That's amazing. Did you win it from like a raffle? Is Neve Knives out of here? Well, Kara and Jared, thanks for jumping in. Yeah, you have a whole nother kind of trauma to deal with, Peter, in your line of work. 30 wins in giveaways. That's amazing. You should play the lottery. I was joking with JB, and I've told him this a couple times because he was drawn as the winner of my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, the grand prize, which of course he, declined to be entered. But I always joke with JB that he must have sat on a 4-leaf clover at some point and just kind of got lodged up there. And that luck has just kind of stuck with him. But that's crazy that you've won 30 times. It's amazing. Yeah, from now on we'll just call Kara and Jared, we'll just call him Karid. Oh, he won your Hank giveaway? That's awesome. I haven't watched that video yet, Steve. I did see that Pete posted a video about his first aid kit, something about it failed him when he needed it or something like that, but I haven't watched it yet. So what else is on the table? So I know Kara and Jared or Karid may have left, but I filmed a review on this knife. I sent one of these, or a variant of the Backlash, to them for their giveaway. And I think right now this might be my favorite budget imported folder. It's nothing new. It's been out for quite some time. I'm late to the party and that happens sometimes. But the Backlash is just doing it for me. So if you don't have one, if you don't want to wait for the review, you may just want to go ahead and buy one because I think it's fantastic. If you own a Backlash, do you like it? Because I like it a lot. A lot. I agree, Zeb. It is an awesome knife. Speaking of Zeb, how's the GoFundMe going? What's it up to at this point? I would agree, JB. I think despite the Elementum being, I don't know, that's so hard between the Elementum and the Backlash. Oh man, that's like picking between my two kids, but I only have one kid. I've been wanting to try Praxis as well, JD, so that'll be cool if that's coming back. $2,815, that's amazing. And a lot of that, Zeb, has come from this community, right? Obviously, there have been donations from other friends and family, but I know a lot of that's come from the community, which is unbelievable. Carlos, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. Yeah, 2,800 bucks. That's fantastic. And the giveaway, if you guys haven't watched Zeb's most recent update, the giveaway is just getting bigger and badder, and it's gonna be insane. Actually, I'm looking to my left right now, and I'm looking at a few things that I'm donating: Cold Steel SRK, Spyderco Endura, flashlight, a pen, a Hank that was generously donated to me by the Sharp Spot. So all kinds of good stuff. Yeah, 95% of that has come from the knife and EDC community, which is insane, just insane, in a good way, insane in the membrane. What have we not taken a peek at yet? So let's take a quick look at this while you guys talk amongst yourselves. So this is my most recent slip from RG2 Leatherworks, and this is going to be a little foreshadowing to our prize this evening for the giveaway. And I got this in the blue stitching and blue lanyard to carry my blue propper. So Ryan does amazing work, as always. Love his stuff. I've got a lot of it. Probably more than I need, but I love his work. And you may be able to win one tonight. Yeah, you like that Cypress Hill reference? Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Amos, you've won a couple giveaways. I remember on Saturday Night Live you won one, I think, at one point. I think you won one from Zach as well, if I remember correctly. That is a proper slip, right, BJ? Yeah, the blue stitching's gorgeous. Looks really, really nice. Then if you're into flashlights, which I want to do a little more of, this is just a little lumen top single AAA light. It's called the IYP07. It's a relatively new offering from Lumentop, and I've already filmed a video on this, but it's a great little EDC flashlight. So there's a little cute little Lumentop flashlight, and I really like the matte black aluminum. It looks great, and it has a great pocket clip. A lot of budget flashlights have terrible clips. This one is fantastic. So, and those go for like 17 bucks. Yeah, Zeb, I saw that Ryan donated us a dual slip to your giveaway. That's awesome. It is a AAA. Yeah. That's hilarious, Peter. It's true. Let me see if I can grab one without disconnecting my mic. It's true though. Like, when does it stop becoming an EDC pocket slip and start becoming a pocket protector? So here's my. This is what I call my Big Red EDC. It is a it is a red themed slip from Ryan with red tools. This is my big blue EDC, and then this is just another little slip for another Benchmade propper. But yeah, I always joke and I say, do I have an RG2 Leatherworks problem, or does RG2 Leatherworks have a gear toward gear problem? I think it's probably a little bit of both. But yeah, it's the pocket protector for the EDC enthusiast, and there's nothing wrong with that. Not a ton of lumens on that one. This one specifically has a really warm color temperature, so the max on this is like 80, but you can get another version that's 130. So nothing really to write home about, but for most EDC stuff, it'll get the job done. Yeah, pocket protection is key. Absolutely. Yeah, Carlos. And for those of you that don't know Carlos, I don't remember exactly when you started your channel, so I apologize, but if you're not familiar with Carlos EDC, I know he's been shouted out a couple times, but he's got a great YouTube channel. So go check out Carlos EDC if you have not yet. And yes, Carlos, Ryan is a phenomenal member of this community, very generous. He's a self-taught leather worker, and he makes some great stuff out of Canada. Great prices, too. Yeah, man, you got to get one. You got to get one to review. All right, so I want to talk about this one real quick. You're welcome, Carlos. So this is, if you've watched my channel recently, you'll know that I've kind of been disenfranchised with Kershaw's budget line recently. Although I did just watch, JB, what was the model? Was it the Concierge that you just reviewed from Kershaw? Because I may want to check that one out. But the budget stuff from Kershaw has been disappointing me lately. And again, this is nothing new to the market. This is the Atmos. And this is the best imported Kershaw that I've bought in probably 2 or 3 years, I would say. The Natrix was decent. But this thing, as far as just fit and finish, you know, the centering, the action, and the price tag, I was very surprised and pleasantly surprised by the performance on this little guy. And I think this is basically a miniature version of the ZT-04 something something Sinkovich design, but the Kershaw Atmos for like 30 bucks. Definitely the best budget Kershaw that I've bought in quite a while. Jerry, are you saying that one's the worst Kershaw you've ever gotten? The Atmos? Yeah, that clip is goofy on the Concierge for sure. And yes, the bare knuckle is a good one. As far as like USA made stuff, the bare knuckle kicks ass. I've got one, but it's in my cabinet. I can't reach it without disconnecting my mic. But yeah, the bare knuckle is legit. I like that one a lot. All right, Carlos, looks like you got some new subs. Thumbs down on the Natrix, Dusty. What? I'm actually not a huge fan of the series in general, but I do like the copper one because it's copper and it looks cool and it's not assisted. The fuller was not even. You must be talking about a different Kershaw. I've heard really good things about the Knockout, Jade. I don't have one, but I've heard really good things about the Knockout, for sure. Oh, on your Natrix? Yeah. I have two Natrix. Is it Natrices? Would that be the plural form of Natrix, or would it just be Natrix? I have one Natrix, I have two Natrix. I have one Natrix, I have two Natrices. I think Natrix is probably the plural form of Natrix, if I had to guess. But yeah, one of the ones that I have, JR's, not great. The copper one was decent. Yeah, Brewhound, you're right. The USA made Kershaw stuff is pretty legit. The Dividend, the Link, the Bare Knuckle, all that stuff. All good stuff. I do hate Speed Safe, but I can get around it. I've got a few assisted knives. It's not my jam, but I can get behind it. If it's a design that I like, I'll totally rock it. The plural of Mannix is Mannix, I would say. I just bought 10 Spyderco Mannixes. I'm going to go with Mannix. Or would it be Mannixes? I don't know. That's another great question. This is really more of a grammar lesson, really, tonight than it is anything else. Oh, you lost that one, JR? That's funny. Yeah, it sounds like everyone's pretty much on board with the knockout, the bare knuckle, the link, all those being pretty solid. I've heard great things about the knockout. I just need to get one. I just need to get one. Yeah, and copper, you know, it's funny. Somebody earlier mentioned not Chad. You don't really care for the copper, and I totally get that. A lot of people don't. And Christine, you're saying you want to get something with copper scales. So, how do you guys feel about copper? Because I actually used to have some copper scales on a on this knife. If I can not drop it, some Flytanium copper scales on this proper, but I took them off and put the Red G10 back on. Then I have my Natrix, which I really like. It's super dark now. So, what are y'all's thoughts on copper? Do you think it's a Just a fad, gonna kind of come and go. Ooh, Chavez friction folder. I like the sound of that. It's got a nice ring to it. Yeah, Menace, it definitely adds some weight, that's for sure. On something like the Proper, in like a pocket slip like this, it's not too bad, but yeah, they can get pretty darn heavy. Yeah, Artisan's been doing a lot of copper. Yeah, I think it looks really nice. You know, I've got some copper flashlights. Carlos, you mentioned copper O-lights. Um, they looked really nice, but yeah, it's just a preference thing. Brewhound, I also like brass, and I may even like it more than copper. And I will call you Uncle Randy. Yeah, Stuart. I guess if you're working on electrical, you probably may not want to have a whole lot of copper on you. Is there anything we haven't looked at that's on the table? I'm trying to think. I just threw a bunch of random stuff here. I've got some other stuff kind of standing by. So I got this from my dad in a trade. So I bought the lightweight Chaparral not too long ago and threw some purple hardware on it. And then like a week later, my dad and I were doing some trades, and I ended up with this, the what is it, Rafir Noble scales, which are just dead sexy. And it's really hard to do it justice in 2 dimensions, but it just looks fantastic, I think. And there's copper in there, and brass actually, so if you want a little copper and brass but don't want a full scale of it, there you go, Rafir Noble. Zeb hates copper. Bunzo is finally here. Thank you. We've been waiting. Yeah, Brewhound, you smell like pennies if you carry a lot of copper gear. That's for sure. B for Baron, what's up, man? If you've been here for a while and I missed you, I apologize. I've been trying to keep up with people as they've come in, came in. That came out wrong. Yeah, Dave, it kind of does look like cracked magma, liquid hot magma. You collect pennies, Amos? Nice. I may have some old wheat pennies, and if I can find some, I'll send them to you, bud. And for every 100 that you get, that's $1. All right, everybody. Bunzo's got a question, so hold the phone. Your birthday's next month. If you get money, should you save it for a Benchmade 940 or a bug out? I'll let the group here answer that question. So they're two vastly different price points. I mean, I guess depending on how you define vastly, but for a standard bug out, what is it, 120 bucks? Your cheapest 940 is going to be about 170. So it's really, I guess, more of a $50 difference. I would argue that the 940 is probably the best Benchmade ever made. This is the G10 version, the less costly version compared to the carbon fiber. And then there's a standard aluminum, the green aluminum, if that's your jam. I love the bug out, don't get me wrong. I have 3 of them. But I think the 940 might be the best Benchmade ever made, in my opinion. Yeah, Louis, you're not the first person I've heard say that. Like people who like Benchmade, but they just don't like the 940. I totally get that. It's all preference and it's all good. Yeah, it's going to come down to preference. So I would say, Bunzo, whatever speaks to you, whatever you're dreaming about at night, go with that one. That is true. You can get a 940 second hand for about what you would pay for a new bug out. That's true. 0920, that is a good one. Yeah, the bug out you can do a lot with as far as, you know, and that's one of the, I don't know if it's a good thing, I guess, right, to have options, but it's also kind of one of those rabbit holes we can get into, and I kind of fell into it with these two. Um, these are both now like twice the cost of what the knife itself cost once you buy aftermarket scales and hardware and stuff like that. So, you know, it's one of those things where you can buy a $100 knife and turn it into a $200 knife pretty quick. The Freak is a great knife, Louis, and someone else mentioned that, Brewhound. The Freak is a good knife. I just got one recently. It's the Mini Freak, but you can get the full-size Freak on Amazon for, I think, 98 bucks. Here's a Mini Freak. The full-size version of this is actually cheaper on Amazon than the Mini, and it's a good knife. I like it. Another one I got from my dad in our trade. Yeah, that's true, Bruan. When you make a modification to a knife, it can add value just kind of to you personally. Maybe it makes it a little more sentimental. It just makes it your own, and that's cool. Yeah, Para 3 is another good option in that basic price range. That's funny, Peter, and that's actually kind of I would almost agree with that. That the Doug Ritter Griptilian is probably arguably one of the best Benchmade's ever made, and the Ritter Griptilian from Hogue, I just called it the Griptilian. It's not called the Griptilian, but the Ritter RSK MK1 G2 is basically a Griptilian and probably one of the better production knives in that price range, I would say. Yeah, these Ritters, for whatever reason, I mean, they're fantastic, don't get me wrong. They're exclusive to one distributor, which is KnifeWorks. And it seems like they just do them in small batches and they come in stock and then they go out of stock. But they're 150 bucks and you're getting a massive chunk of M390. And this one's actually about to get sent away to be tested, both cut tested and Rockwell tested. But to get a massive chunk of M390, these really nice kind of milled G10 scales, one of the best actions ever. For 150 bucks is a pretty damn good deal when you're talking about those types of materials. And Hogue just makes a phenomenal product. I think production wise, they're towards the top. JB found signal again. Yes. Welcome back. Yeah, I know they're out of stock. I was looking at them today, actually. Um, yeah, they just kind of come and go. It's weird. But they don't jack up the price, which I like. It's exclusive to one distributor. It's made by Hogue, made very well by Hogue, at 152 bucks. So I can appreciate that. Yeah, JB, you need to get a nice long antenna or a tinfoil hat of some sort to get yourself closer to those cell towers, man. Yeah, Christine, you've got a couple Hogues that I've seen on your channel. Christine, do you have a Hogue in like this color? Like a microflip in that color? I want to say I saw that on your channel. Good night, Menace. Thank you for joining, man. I appreciate it. The X1 Mini, that's right. I remember seeing that on one of your videos. That's a good that would be a good head-to-head, JR, a direct comparison between the Hogue Ritter and the Ritter Griptilian. And JB has a Ritter Griptilian, so either he needs to send me that or I need to send him this and do a direct comparison between the two. Oh, you won that, Hogue? That's awesome. I don't know that I've ever won a knife. I won a KME sharpening system not too long ago, um, on a raffle. It was like $10, and I won like a $300 KME system. Yeah, Tiffany blue or robin's egg blue. It is a color that everyone can appreciate, and I've been rocking this for the last couple days. I do really like this knife, this PHL custom, courtesy of Dusty, generously parting with it. I'm going to try to get the review done on this in the next day or two and get that back out to you. I always hate keeping people's stuff. Jade, you want a QSP Eagle? That's you didn't win it from me, did you? I gave one away in a giveaway. They're kind of goofy. It's the folding karambit, right? The flipper karambit. They're pretty goofy. Looks like a riverboat gambler's rig. There you go, Stuart. Just keep that. Just keep this under the table. And if you know, somebody pulls out four of a kind and beats your full house, then there's your emergency. And this is thick blade stock. I'm gonna guess and say 5, maybe 6 mil. Super thick blade stock. It's got kind of a convex saber grind. A pretty cool knife, and these don't go for a terribly high amount of money from PHL knives on Etsy. They're like $150 for a custom made knife. So I'm digging it for sure. You've won a few things, Jade. I know you won. Oh, you won it from Metal Complex. Yeah, he was one of the other Apex pass round people that got one of those knives. What did you win for me, Jade? Was it the flashlight, the Nikon N7 maybe? That's awesome, Bunzo, that you're going to take a Stop the Bleed class. I think that's fantastic. Yeah, total bonus, Christine, that you can just essentially take anything of Peter's that you want. Oh, you want an Artisan Falcon? That's awesome. Tactical Pterodactyl. I've never heard of them, but the name alone intrigues me. You want a Palmetto Custom Skinner? It's so fun to win things, isn't it? Someone's getting the itch to do the giveaway, huh, Amos? So I think we've essentially looked at everything on the table, at least briefly. Talked a little bit about some. I will take a look at them on Instagram. It sounds cool. And it's a badass name, frankly. That's a bummer, JR. You won a fixed blade, they never sent it? That's bogus. You won something from JR from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Does that mean JR won it and then you stole it? Thanks, Louis. I appreciate that. Or Lewis. Again, I apologize if I'm saying it the wrong way. Oh, you won it and gave it to him? Nice. Yeah, the raffles on Instagram, if you're on Instagram, you can win some pretty amazing stuff at some pretty low prices, but it really is like gambling. I've entered a few, maybe like 4, and I've just kind of stopped doing it because it's usually like $10 or $20 to kind of enter the raffle. And if you win, typically you're winning something that's worth $200-300 in a lot of cases, like with the KME sharpening system that I got. But if you do enough of these and don't win, then you're just kind of throwing money away. So it's one of those things. But a lot of people do really well. So, and it's kind of fun from time to time. It can be addicting. It's like, man, I want to get on, especially Knife Joy. They do a lot of them for like 20 bucks. You can potentially win like a large Nkosi or something like that, like a $475 knife. Yeah, Jay, that's probably a good call. Like if you're just not winning the raffles, like might as well just save that money and you know buy buy Backlash. A Purvis does do a lot of raffles, and Peter's got a couple videos at least one on a couple A Purvis blades. The Primordial, I think, he has one on. Those are some amazing knives. Yeah, it's like that's true, Bruin. It's like they call it a waffle, right? Because I don't think technically they can call it a raffle. Not sure how they get around the rules, but I remember that, Peter. I remember you mentioning that you won that Ultramar. That thing is so sexy. Is there anything on the table we haven't looked at that anyone wants to look at? I'm gonna take a drink of my ice cold Coca-Cola. That's what I'm drinking tonight. What's everyone else drinking? And it might be loud because my microphone's kind of close to my cup, to my Yeti. The one above the pen is the Civivi Backlash, if this is the one you're talking about. I think that's the one you're talking about. Triple E EDC. Hey, better late than never, man. Welcome. Big Red, very nice. Yeah, so JB, you're well over the 1300 mark. I know that. So I'm guessing, and I'm not putting anything out in the world for you guys, but I have a feeling there might be a 1500 sub giveaway maybe happening from JB. That may not be happening, but he's getting pretty darn close. Mio flavored water, good call. Hot coffee. Chocolate milk, heck yeah. Are we talking Yoo-Hoo, Ovaltine, like Hershey syrup mixed in the milk? What kind of chocolate milk are we talking about? Because this is important. I take my chocolate milk seriously. You do know how to party, Peter. I do too. Drinking my Coca-Cola with ice and nothing else. Because I don't drink, because I'm boring. Yeah, I really can't even move on, Zeb, until I know more about this chocolate milk. Hershey's, like stirred into the milk, that's classic. I can dig that. Cherry Coke, I can appreciate that, Jade. Guinness. Guinness is kind of like the best chocolate milk, Stuart. I love that. Coors Light, nothing wrong with that. Shiner Bock was always my go-to beer. And you know better, Brewhound, being from Texas. You should be drinking Shiner. But I do like Coors Light. Guinness is liquid bread. Yeah, Bunzo, it is a soft T wide tourniquet in the back. It's the new Generation 4. I'm going to be doing a video soon comparing the Gen 3 and the Gen 4 and kind of building a pocket trauma kit, so more to come on that. But that is what you were looking at. All right, so quick, for those over 21, just real quick. If you had to choose between Coors Light, Bud Light, and Miller Light, which do you choose? I choose Coors Light. Yeah, JR, I mean, I guess you might as well, right? Water's pretty close. Shiner and Lone Star are good. Like if you're at a party and like that's all that's in the cooler is those three, I'd go Coors Light or maybe just drink a bottle of water. Yeah. Well, oftentimes, on these shows and on some other channels, you know, they're drinking some really nice beers, some nice IPAs, and I can appreciate all that stuff. I used to be really into the kind of high end beers, but yeah, I'm a big fan of the IPA. Sierra Nevada. Do they? So Stuart, being Canadian, do they still make Labatt Blue? Is that still a thing? Dusty would rather drink lake water. I I can't necessarily argue with that. I started getting really into the sours, kind of before I stopped drinking a couple years ago. All right, enough about beer. So, does anybody have a fun topic that you want to talk about? Because one thing that, and I'll close this out pretty soon because I know we're already over an hour. But there's something that, if you watch Slicey Dicey's most recent video, it was really an interesting topic that I thought he came up with, which is essentially, is there any topic within the knife hobby or community where you would just kind of take your last stand and never back down? And if you watch the video, Brian, his thing was he hates it when people say Chinese knives are terrible. Just kind of a blanket statement, because he feels like there are a lot of amazing Chinese knives. So what's the thing that you would kind of stand your ground on and never back down from? Rockwell don't matter, meaning you think it does? I think it does in a lot of cases, but when people ask why do you even need to carry a knife, it's a good one. Beard towards gear, I like that. Budget knives, yeah. I actually have a video coming up. It's been filmed. I'll probably post it pretty soon. And the video is 5 knives that equal a total of $100. So it's straight up a budget video because I love my budget knives. This is one of my top 10 favorite knives of all time, and it costs $18, and it gets me excited. I love the fact that we can get excited about an $18 knife. I love it. My last stand, 10 budget knives are better than one premium knife that costs 10 times as much. I don't necessarily disagree with that, you know, because I have a lot of those 10 knives, but I also have some of those one knives, like those one premium knives. I'm kind of an equal opportunity enthusiast, but I totally get that. Like, if you've got $1,000 to spend, would you rather have 10 $100 knives or one single knife that costs $1,000? So I totally get that, Bruhan. People who condemn Ganzo but tout Case. Yeah, I could get behind you on that. There's nothing wrong with Ganzo, in my opinion. I don't love every model, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, Peter. Knife shaming. That's a good way of putting it. Like, if you're into customs and you want to buy 10 Sabenzas, a bunch of custom fixed blades, and spend $1,000 on every knife, like, who was a guy on YouTube? He's making knives now. Jim Skelton. He collected ridiculously expensive custom knives. That was his thing, and that's totally cool. And there's other people that collect nothing but, you know, $18 knives. And guess what? That's pretty freaking cool too. So, yeah, I'm totally with you on that. Like, buy what you like, buy what makes you happy, and don't apologize for it. Yeah, knife shaming is kind of ridiculous. It's funny how passionate people will get about what other people choose to do with their time and their money. Um, and I don't mean this like negatively, but I just don't care enough about what you do to shame you for it, right? Um, so so yeah, I say if it speaks to you and makes you happy, whatever the cost, buy it, enjoy it, love it, and I can do that with an $18 K-bar Dozier, or I can do that with a $375 Sebenza, right? Doesn't matter. I will say, Brewhound, that I agree on the counterfeits, where it's like in a box that says Spyderco, but it's not a Spyderco, like an actual counterfeit product. Like when you go to New York City and you buy a fake Louis Vuitton purse, but it says Louis Vuitton on it, where they're trying to make it appear as though you're getting something you're not. Um, I mean, it's illegal, first of all, so I can get down with you on that. I have not watched Texas Knives. We do all have our vices, JD. And whatever they are, it's all good. Yeah, a Kershaw Shuffle. That's a great example, Dusty. It's like an inexpensive knife, but if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. And in my video about 5 knives for $100, I kind of go off on the Dozier about how happy this knife makes me. I get as much joy out of carrying this knife as I do carrying this knife. They're going to get me through the day just the same. This one may have better materials, whatever, but this makes me excited, and it costs $18. So buy what makes you happy, and the world will keep on turning. Just catching up on some comments here. Yeah, that's another one, JR, the collector versus user argument. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like if you're into it, you're into it. A lot of people collect cars and they sit in a garage and they don't drive them. Whatevs, man. You know? Do your thing. Yeah, and I do have knives that I don't use, not because I wouldn't, like that they're safe queens necessarily, which like, there's nothing wrong with safe queens either, in my opinion, but I have some that I just don't carry because I have too many knives. Well, let me rephrase that. You can never have too many knives. But I just have a lot, and so some of them just don't get carried. Yeah, Amos, I've seen you've got a lot of coins, a lot of coin stuff going on. That's cool, man. Right hand tip down only knives that have lanyard holes. I happen to have sitting nearby. It's not right hand tip down only, but this happens to be in the tip down configuration for right hand with a lanyard tube. Do you not like knives that come that way? Like where that's your only option? Where it's only right-handed tip down? Yeah, and Peter, that's fair too. Like you had a safe queen, one that you never wanted to touch or carry, and you sold it because of that. I'm assuming because you prefer to use all of your knives. Would that be accurate to say? And that's the whole user versus collector thing. And I think a lot of us are both, right? It's like I collect knives. I have like 200 or more, but I also use them. Jade, what are the 2 save queens you're messing with right now? I know you had one really. I don't know if you sold it, but I remember seeing a video you did where you had some really nice. It was like a custom anodized. I don't know if it was a custom knife, but I know it was custom anodized. And if you're not familiar, guys and gals, Jade Schaefer, been subbed to my channel for a long time, and probably a lot of yours as well. She has a channel of her own, so go check out Jade Schaefer. topic you went back down from is that lanyards are like the giant car spoilers of the knife world. Sometimes they make the car better, but most of the time they get in the way. Yeah, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. And a lot of people would say, I have to have a lanyard. I have to get easy access, whatever. Everyone's got their reasons. But at the end of the day, it's like what JR said, just, let people do what they want to do. Mass drop thresher, very nice. Not following the question, Bunzo. What's one no that you're glad you learned? Live and let live, exactly. Oh, thank you, JB, for answering that question. Yeah, a Dozier would be a great cheap blade for cutting up anything, really. What's one knot that you're glad you've learned? The knot that I'm glad that I learned is the one that you use to tie your shoes. I'm not much of a knot tying guy, but I can tie my shoes with the best of them. All right, so looks like we got some. Obviously, JB's probably knows quite a few knots, I would imagine. Plus, you got the knot tying guide in one of your recent Bud K mystery boxes, which is cool. Rabbit ears. So what's funny, JD, is that so there's kind of two ways to tie a shoe, right? You can do the rabbit ears and tie them together, or you can do the, what do they call it in the movie Big Daddy? The loop, swoop, and pull. I straight up do the rabbit ears. Like, I'm 34 years old and I tie my shoes with rabbit ears. That's how lame I am. All right, so it looks like we're coming kind of to a little bit of a lull. I do like the knot tying conversation, so feel free to keep that going. But let's do a giveaway. So, in Saturday Night Live fashion, there will be a giveaway, and this giveaway is going to come directly from JB. So JB planned this ahead of time, and he has some items for the giveaway. He will ship them directly to you. Neither of those are the right answer, JR. Or maybe you're just saying ye. But the prizes, I do not have them. JR does. But the prizes for tonight's giveaway are a leather keychain from Holiday Leatherworks and a decal, a sticker from Holiday Leatherworks. In addition, he's also going to give you a single slip from RG2 Leatherworks. It'll look just like this, only it'll be red stitching and a red lanyard. I think it has a lanyard. So JB, if any of that was incorrect, please correct me. But yeah, you're going to get a leather keychain and a leather single slip plus the decal. So yeah, lots of leather. Really good leather from members of this community. So super generous giveaway for tonight. Okay, so I did get that correct. Awesome. So as I mentioned, the answer to tonight's challenge is on this piece of paper. I wrote it down before we started. So I'll just leave that right there. So I'm going to type the word start. And if you wouldn't mind, as per usual, put your caps lock on. It's going to make it a lot easier to track the guesses. And just as a very general hint, it has something to do with something on the table. And there's a lot on the table, I realize that, but just look at the table briefly. And when you see the word start, go ahead and start your guesses. And I will tell you to stop once I think I see a correct answer. So get your caps lock on and get ready. Not seeing it yet. Some good guesses. These are coming fast. JB, I don't know how you do this, man. I don't think I've seen it yet. Sorry for the camera bump. All right, so I have not seen it yet, I don't think, and we'll go back to be sure. But at this point, I'm going to give you guys a little hint, and the hint will be medical. Okay, hold your guesses. Hold your guesses. I saw the answer, so somebody has guessed it correctly, so we can go ahead and stop the guesses if you don't mind. I don't need some help here because there are a lot of guesses. So the answer, and again, I need to go back and make sure somebody didn't guess it sooner and I just totally missed it. That is the answer. TQ for tourniquet. So I see Jesse. Before that, I saw Brewhound. Before that, I saw Bunzo. I didn't see anybody before Bunzo, but if Zeb or Peter or anybody else wants to help me kind of scroll back from Bunzo's answer and see if anybody else guessed TQ. And if you did guess it, like earlier on, and I just totally missed it, just type a note that says, hey, I guessed that. But I don't think I saw it prior to Bunzo. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll back here, so give me just a sec. TX, TO, TR, TB. TN, TX, so I've scrolled back as far as I can, and I'm not seeing any TQs prior to Bunzo. Is everybody on board with that? Does anybody else see anyone before that? Peter, okay, so you're seeing Bunzo. Christine, same thing. Bunzo, I think you may have also at some point in your life accidentally sat on a 4-leaf clover and it's gotten stuck in there, because you definitely have some good luck, man. So congratulations. You're right, JR, it was rigged. I told him about this before we started. No. So yeah, Bunzo, you are the winner. So you will get sent to you from JB the leather keychain and the leather slip. And what would be really cool, if you so choose, would be to throw up a quick video, a review on the keychain and the slip on your channel. I think that would be pretty sweet. Hey, Ryan, RG2 Leatherworks, you made it, buddy. Nice. So we just did the giveaway, Ryan, and Bunzo won one of your single slips, as well as a keychain from Holiday Leatherworks. And I challenged Bunzo to do a video, a review on the single slip, because I think you're due for a video, buddy. So congrats, Bunzo. Well done. Thank you, everybody, for playing along. And thanks, JB. Again, JB purchased and provided these items for the giveaway. They will be shipped directly to you from him. So Bunzo, do you have a way to get in contact with JB? Or JB, you may already have his contact info, but if not, if I need to facilitate that, I can. But I think you should be all set. Okay, good deal. So that's all I got. I know it's been an hour and a half, which I guess is kind of standard these days for Saturday Night Live. And thank you, JB, for trusting me to host. Again, Zach got pulled into a work kind of emergency last minute, and after searching and asking dozens and dozens of YouTubers, finally they decided let's just ask Sean. We have no other choice. So, but it was a lot of fun. I really did enjoy this. You're very welcome, JB. So that has been your August 10th or 11th, depending on where you live, edition of Saturday Night Live. Good seeing all the familiar faces. It's been a great time. And again, just a quick reminder, some of the people that are in this live chat right now that have some amazing channels: Women Carry Knives, The Therapeutic Edge, Jade Schaefer, Bunza Reviews, OC Omega Shadow, The Sharp Spot. JR posted a video recently, which is a really good video, actually, kind of a philosophical video. So check out The Sharp Spot on YouTube and watch the most recent video that JR did. It was excellent. It's a little long, but you should watch the whole thing. Patty, of course, is here. I'm probably missing some people, and I don't intend to do that. Jersey Knife Guy is in here, or was in here at some point. He's got a great channel as well. I think I mentioned Carlos EDC. So yeah, a bunch of great channels in here. So thank you all for joining, and that's it. I'll stick around for a few more minutes if you guys want to talk amongst yourselves or talk about whatever or look at something on the table. We can certainly do that. But otherwise, that's it for Saturday Night Live, August 10th edition. You are welcome, Bunzo. Good night, Peter. Yeah, you can talk to yourself. That's always good. Good night, Christine. Thanks, JD. I appreciate it, buddy. Frederick. Okay, so real quick, if anybody's still here, my good friend Frederick, one of my very first subscribers ever, goes by the Prepared Norseman on YouTube. Fantastic person, phenomenal channel. So check out the Prepared Norseman. He does a lot of cool stuff. Very different content from what I do, but a lot of like kind of life hacks when it comes to EDC and preparedness, medical. Just a good dude. So check out Frederick, the Prepared Norseman, on YouTube. BJ, take care, brother. (8:30 a.m. in Norway). Ooh, Benchmade Infidel trade for a Hinderer XM24. I don't know. I don't know if Nick Shabazz subscribes to the Norseman, but I do. I do it with pride. Good night, JB. Enjoy the rest of your time in Minnesota. Safe travels back home, my friend. Amos, have a great night, buddy. I know it's late there in New York. Good night, BJ. Yeah, there you go, Bunzo. There's a quick look at the Sabenza. And JB did a review on this not too long ago. And it was a great review, kind of an overview. And he showed two different ones. So if you want to get a good look at the large and small, go check out JB's video. It was really good. Triple E EDC, good night, my friend. Lucum, have a great night. Yeah, no, Frederick, we were not making fun of Nick Shabazz. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, well, you're right, actually. Triple E, he does like the Norseman, the knife, the Norseman. Um, and I'm Norwegian. That's my heritage. So me and Frederick are kindred spirits. Ooh, the most EDC knife I've got. Man, that's hard. I carry a Dozier a lot. I carry a slip joint a lot too. Um, like all time most EDC might be a Dragonfly 2. I often carry that as my second knife. It's one that have carried a lot for a lot of years. JD, have a great night, buddy. All right, Amos, have a good time at church tomorrow. Thanks for jumping in, bud. My Dragonfly does not have a zip tie. I'm not quite that fancy, or nothing fancy, depending on how you look at it. I'm not a fan of anything that has a wave feature. Just never been a fan. That's a good call. I do. I have carried, not currently, but I have carried a Swiss Army Classic on my keys in the past. So that may be one of the most carried. You said it looks like part of it's missing. I'll give you a little better look. There you go. Pink shuffle and the pink mini grip. Actually, the mini grip might be one of my most carried. My 154 CM sheepsfoot that I got a long time ago. I carried that every day for a long time. Before I started like mixing and matching things and changing things up all the time, I did carry a mini griptilian for quite a long time. Yeah, for whatever reason, the wave is just not something that I've ever really been into. And you can deploy a wave knife without waving it, but you have to be intentional about it, and I'm just not that patient. Yeah, the 940-2, it's a hard one to beat, JR. Yeah, I brought this out for my buddy Stuart because he recently bought the rescue version of this, the fully serrated kind of blunt tip version of the Kara 2. And the weight, it's definitely chunky. And I bought this one probably 8 years ago. I don't know if it's been updated or changed at all, but this one sits in a chest rig that I use for my AR. So I actually don't really ever carry that. Good night, Jade. Thanks for joining. It's nice to see you. And I'll stick around again for another few minutes if people just want to chit chat. I've had enough caffeine, so it's all good. I'll take another sip. It's all right, Bunzo. You're not keeping me up late. It's a little after 1:30, and I am drinking ice cold Coca-Cola Classic. Yeah, so you're gonna probably laugh when you watch the video, JR. I'll post it in the next few days probably. It's a Zebra F701. It costs like $6. I bought a bunch of 2 packs, and it was like two for $11. It's just a ballpoint pen that happens to be all stainless. Like every component is stainless. They used to have, the older model had some plastic, and the EDC community like cried out for an all steel version, and they made one. It's super cheap, and I think it's the best EDC pen ever because I often let people borrow them and they never give them back. You know how it is. Spray what with WD-40? Bunzo, the pen? Why would I do that? Why would I spray WD-40 on the pen? That would be silly. But it's got some pretty aggressive knurling right down here. It's very grippy. But yeah, JR, for like a work pen, these things are great. I bought a bunch of them. Let me see if I can find. I've got one close enough. There's what they look like. The F701. all metal. Even the cartridge is metal. There's literally no plastic in it. And it'll take a bunch of different refills like Fisher Space Pen, that kind of stuff. Yeah, no tactical spike on that one, unfortunately. That would be legit, Dusty. If you're talking about like getting pens and putting the Sharp Spot logo on them, that would be fantastic. Speaking of the Sharp Spot, Dusty and JR, so this capsule that I bought for this coin with like the little black, I use these for some of my silver coins, but I bought like a 20 pack of these and I used one for this coin. So I have 19 left. And if you want them for future coins or for anybody else in the group who has a coin, I'm happy to send them to you. You can have them. Yeah, that would be sweet to see, like to get a logo etched into one of these pens. That would be pretty gnarly. Yeah, all my silver coins, like my, as I drop the coin, good thing it's in a case. All my silver coins, like, you know, my investment silver, I put in a capsule similar to this. And yeah, so I've got a bunch left. So I'll just send them to you and you can have them. I may keep like one just in case that one gets damaged, but I'll send you the rest, like 18 of them or something like that. What is the EDC category that it took me the longest to get turned on to? That's a good question, Brewhound. Um, that's a really good question. I think the one that took me the longest to like solidify my systems would be medical. Um, Flashlights. That would be my answer. I'm a total flashlight nerd. I have far too many, like 75 flashlights. I know far too much about flashlights, but that's been a recent thing. So that would be the thing. Flashlights. Yeah, I think the coins are amazing, and I'm super grateful for this one. By the way, it's beautiful. Somebody asked me on Instagram if I was in the Coast Guard because there's a song and kind of a motto that they use, Semper Paratus. I said no, I was not in the Coast Guard. I'm in a group far better than the Coast Guard. It's called the Sharp Spot. Just kidding. The Coast Guard's amazing. Yeah, Bonzo. They just launched a website not too long ago. If I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to type it in the comments. And if I did this wrong, you can correct me, Dusty or JR. But I think it's sharpspothanks.com. Is that right? Yeah. So just go to the website. You can see what they have in stock ready to ship. If you want something custom, um, like let me know and I'll reach out to them on Instagram or something. We can work something out. But yeah, check out the website. They've got some really cool stuff. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bust some out real quick. Boom, boom, boom. And this one, well, a couple of them have my logo on the inside, which looks phenomenal. Dusty just nailed it on these. They look amazing. And then this one is just plain. But yeah, the Hanks are fantastic. Headlamps. I'm a big fan of headlamps, Brewhound. I mean, I don't do a lot of camping or anything like that. I'm not like a huge outdoors guy. I do some hunting. So when I go hunting, I take a headlamp and I keep one in my vehicle for like roadside work, and I keep one in my trauma kit, like my big trauma kit for hands free. What does it take to get a Gear Toward Gear Hank? To be honest with you, they will do a vinyl add-on for like 3 or 4. I think it's $4 extra. And if you want to use my logo, just tell Dusty you want the Gear Toward Gear logo, and you're welcome to put it on your Hank or any other image that you happen to have. But yeah, I just wanted something with my logo on it because I didn't really have anything, and they turned out phenomenal. I know JB has some with his logo. But yeah, if you want one that says Big Red EDC, well, maybe ask JB first. But I could care less if anybody wants to use my logo. The H2R is a great headlamp, and it's also a great EDC light, Lewis or Louis. So I need to know that I'm saying this right. Uh, is it Lewis like that, or is it Louis like Lou? Lou. Okay. Lou. The Olight H2R is a great headlamp, and it's also a great EDC light. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't call you Lou earlier. That's way easier. Yeah, the Hanks are great, and I've washed both of these. I haven't washed this one yet, but I've washed both of these because what I use these for, it's like crazy soft on this side, crazy soft on this side. I wipe down knife blades, I wipe sweat, and I also blow my nose in these things. Um, and they also make for good backdrops for pictures. But like this one in particular, my son and myself may or may not have got a little snotty one day. So I actually use them as handkerchiefs, and they work great as an actual handkerchief. But they also look fantastic. So yeah, this pattern I really like, this kind of woodland pattern. But this kind of, what do you call this one, Dusty? The kind of silvery, black and gray inner color. Gray wash, that's right. The gray wash looks fantastic, if I say so myself. I love that. So yeah, if anybody would want a Gear Toward Gear logo on your Hank, I would say you're silly for wanting that, but yeah, by all means, Dusty, if you want to, if anybody ever asks for that, if they're crazy enough to ask for that, by all means, feel free to put that on there. Yeah, and I just air dried mine, Dusty. Because like after the spin cycle, they're actually not that wet, so I just let them air dry, just like flat on a table, and they dry really quick actually. So looks like Bunzo's still here. Lou, Bunzo, it's got to be way past your bedtime. Do your parents know you're up? And I don't mean that condescendingly. I'm just curious. Yeah. When I was 13, actually, you know, when you're 13, 14, on a weekend, I think my parents probably would have let me stay up this late. So that's cool. Oh, it's summer. Yeah. Screw it. I imagine you start back to school probably pretty soon, though. Yeah, Gear Toward Gear edition and a Big Red EDC edition would be cool. Just like a standard, gray wash on one side and black on the other, or whatever. That'd be cool. I'd buy some more. School starts back next week. My wife went back to work. She's a teacher. Actually, she's a counselor at a high school. She went back last week. This might be I don't know if we're breaking new ground here, but this might be a an all-time record for longest Saturday Night Live. I've got like 16% battery left on my cell phone, so as long as the battery lasts, we're in it. Yeah, Stuart, we're still here, man. That's hilarious, Brewhound. Yeah, if you're 13, 14, and you're doing anything this late at night, and you're a parent, it's probably best to just stay away. You might walk in on something you don't want to. That's cool that you're doing photography. I took a photography class in high school as an elective, learned about f-stop and aperture and all that cool stuff. So I do like Dusty and JR. I think this is what you're talking about, but I do like the Sharp Spot logo that I see on some of your like personal hanks, like especially the orange one that has the Sharp Spot logo. That's that one's pretty cool. I think it'd be awesome to sell those because I would totally buy a hank with the Sharp Spot logo on it. Like if you just had a Sharp Spot edition as like a standard item, I'd totally buy one. Or make a Gear Toward Gear edition, whatever. They do a wood shop at your school, Bunzo? Oh, nice. So the logo will be the fabric. That's amazing. So that's truly custom fabric. That's fantastic. The fact that they still offer welding and woodworking at a school makes me happy. So I would take both of those classes because I took wood shop, or it was kind of a variation of wood shop. It was kind of like a combination of engineering, woodworking, metalworking. It wasn't like actual welding, but the fact that I don't know, those trades. You just a lot of schools don't do that. So yeah, if you can take that in your high school, for sure, get learn how to weld. You'll save yourself a lot of money, um, just in your life if you can weld. Yeah, I think trades are great, Stuart. I think in a lot of countries you kind of have an option, right? You go academic route or you go trade school route, and they're both equally as important. There's not one better than the other, and the trades I think need to come back to the high schools. Yeah, welding. You're right, Dusty. If you can weld, you can make a damn good living. All right, guys. Well, I fear my battery's gonna die soon, and the last thing I want to do is for it to just die in the middle of this and just kind of shut things down. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. UK. I don't know about shipping to the UK. I don't know that it's free shipping to the UK. Maybe it is. I'm not sure on the Hanks. Thanks, JR. I appreciate that. So it looks like international shipping's a little bit extra, depending on where it's going. Yeah, thanks, Bunzo. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining as always. Tomorrow, when JB sees this video, like on my YouTube account, he's going to be wondering why the hell I let it go for almost 2 hours. But it's all good. I do enjoy talking with you guys. Yeah, Bruhan, I may do that. I'm going to do kind of a channel update video. I just recently reached the point in number of subscribers where I can even do a live stream. So I may do something, once a month or something like that. We'll see. But yeah, so with that said, we'll go ahead and call it a night. Again, thank you all for sticking around. This kind of little banter here at the end has been fun, actually. I've enjoyed this. So thank you all for joining. Thanks again to JB for allowing me to guest host. And good night to all. And we'll see you next week. I think JB may have a conflict next week, but he's going to do it a little earlier than usual, which might be good for a lot of people to not have to stay up quite as late. So yeah, we'll have another Saturday Night Live next week on Big Red EDC's channel. And Bunzo, again, just get in contact with JB and he'll get you your prizes sent out. Thanks, Lukem. I appreciate that, buddy. God bless Texas. Thanks, Bruhan. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and close this out, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.